Hello you lovely people and welcome. Recently saw an update for the DC Designs F-14 package and this will now include a F-14 Delta Super Tomcat with updated cockpit and avionics eventually. At the moment it's still using the same avionics as the Alpha and the Bravo, but the Delta avionics will be updated at some point in the future. Just before I go any further, please stop leaving childish and ridiculous comments in my videos, please. If you have an issue with any of the aircraft that I review, please take it to the Discords. I'm not here to have a community of people that are slagging off developers. I'm trying to provide a neutral as possible perspective on anything that gets released. I'd like to keep it that way. So from this point onwards, just please leave any of the childish negative comments out of my videos, unless of course it's to do with my review video, then fair play. But if it's anything to do with the developers, keep it out, please. Thank you very much. Now, on with the video. So it comes with 5 liveries on the Delta. We get a VF2, VF101, VF31, VF124 and a VF213. Obviously a paint kit will be released, and any third-party liveries will be over at flightsim.to or wherever else you download your liveries. For Xbox users, these are the only liveries I believe that you'll get, unless someone does a third party livery pack for them, which fingers crossed may happen, as we've seen with other aircraft that have been released. So with that, let's actually take a look at the aircraft and get in the cockpit. Alright, so let's go for the walk around. For the purposes of this video, I've swept the wings forward, I've dropped the ladder, opened the canopy and added the ground power unit just for the look, basically. So the F-14 Delta, there were 37 new builds and 18 F-14 Alphas were upgraded to the Delta variant, and with that upgrade came the ability to deliver ground munitions. So there are 2 things you'll note here. 1, there is a mixed ordnance, and 2, it's asymmetrical. So the Delta went from a fleet defense fighter to a fleet defense fighter / ground attack, and to deliver that ability, it had the ability to carry the lantern pod, and so it being asymmetrical on both body pylons, I have the usual AIM 9s, an AIM 54 Phoenix, the lantern as I said, fuel tanks under the engine nacelles, and on the centre lines I've got laser guided bombs. Now I could change that completely back to fleet defense with an AIM 54 here, and then carrying another 4 AIM 54s on the centre there, but went for a mixed just to show you, purely for the video. So yeah, that's the extra additions for the Delta. Externally, internally there was an upgrade to the WG9 radar to the newer AN APG 71, and there's some new systems added to the aircraft, such as the JTIDS or Joint Tactical Information Distribution System, and the Airborne Self-Protection Jammer ASPJ, and also the infrared search and track. So that's just skimming the Delta model. But if we jump into the cockpit, we can have a look at what's changed inside. So what I'm going to do now is just quickly try and do a split screen. I did a screenshot of the Bravo variant for both the Pilot and the Rio, and I'm going to show you those now. So as you can see, the updated glass cockpit and various other bits and pieces have changed, just to make life easier for the pilot. And if we jump into the back seat for the Rio, you'll see there's quite a difference in the back here as well. Obviously for that lantern pod to be shown up on a nice big screen, and obviously sharing that with the ability to use the AN/APG 71 radar for any airborne intercepts. So yeah, a nice update and also a nice addition to the package. Definitely going to be a popular one. So the cat, she is purring and ready to prowl. Lovely engine sounds, and looks fantastic with all of that ordnance on it. So what we're going to do now is taxi out to the end of the runway and get it up in the air. And try and not run this guy over at the same time. So you can see all the screens are lit up now and we're ready to roll. Let's get the parking brake off and get to the end of the runway. If we double tap the nose wheel steering there, it gives high gain on the nose wheel steering so we can make sharp turns. So let's see if we can get away from this guy. Got a nice sharp turn. There we go. Got to worry about that wall. Okay, so to be honest, there's not going to be much going on in this review because I've covered most of it in the Alpha and Bravo variant when the package was first released. But a lot's changed since then. All the avionics and little tweaks and updates with textures, and also the flight dynamics have all changed since then. So an updated review would really be on the cards for the whole package, and I may do that at a later date, but I just thought I'd showcase the Delta variant because everyone loves the D. We'll get up in the air, get it so that we can perform some aerial maneuvers, and then we'll get it back on the ground again. Ground handling is as you would expect. It's nice and light with the high gain on. You can get very good turns. Maximum taxi speed for this really is around about 10 knots, so I'm braking that slightly. Just going to roll straight out. Nothing much going on at Yeovilton today. Can't even say that the F-35s are there because they're not. They're at Marham. And Queen Elizabeth is out at sea with 8 F-35s. Whoopity-doo. Everybody fear us. Right. Okay. So all's looking good. RPMs are good. Temperatures are good. Fuel is good. Let's open the taps. Rotate. Gear up. Flaps up. Up we go. I'm going to put the wing sweep lever down. Get to 10,000 feet, it's going to roll over. Right then, let's get this thing supersonic. While it's doing that, we will jump in the back seat and have a look, see what's going on there. Okay, and you can see the screen's all nicely lit up there. Like I said, apparently there is going to be an avionics upgrade at some point in the future. I'm not 100% sure when that will be. Coding needs to be worked on apparently, so something else to look forward to in the future. Okay, looks like we are doing Mach 1.2 now. Guess we can pull back on the burners. Put outside view. See, if we come down to the left hand side, we can open a refueling probe. We've got a probe here if you want to simulate your air-to-air refueling, as well as other things. We have the oleo neel for catapult launching. Obviously we've got our hook over here, and we've got various configurations that we can go into: air-to-air, air-to-ground, landing mode, which will give us all our glide slope and localizer information if we're coming in on an ILS. And the wings are now swept forward. Where are we at? It's very good, very responsive as you would expect, just like the other F-14s are. It's got the power of the B, obviously keeping the F-110 engines, and it's got some vices, as you can see. I just tried to snap roll that and ended up stalling it. Right, so we're on our way into Yeovilton. Want to get the ILS page up on my map. All the controls for this screen are just down here, so we can change the brightness, heading course, bugs and needle. We can change the range, so we can get out a bit further, and also with this one in the center we can do the changing of what's on the page. So we've got radar, VOR, ILS and TACAN. Okay, so we're going to use this. Well, don't need ILS because the weather's quite good, but use it anyway to bring it in. So base leg. And trim out so I don't need to pitch up or down. All I need to do is use the throttle. So we keep that yellow or amber circle in the angle of attack indicator, we should be good. Pitching movements up and down at the moment are not me, it's wind effects. side wind going on. Okay, just let it drift down to the ground now. Lovely stuff. Not the best landing in the world, but it will do. So to summarise the F-14 Delta, it's a great addition to the already existing F-14 package by DC Designs. It was good value for money back then. This just adds to that value now. The fact that you've got a different variant with a different cockpit layout, extra ordnance, if you are third party buyer or if you've bought it from Marketplace on PC. I'm sure there'll be a fix for that at some stage. Xbox users unfortunately won't be able to see the ordnance, but that's the nature of the beast, unfortunately. But yeah, fantastic addition, and will be my go-to F-14 out of the three in the package from now on. So yeah, I hope you got this far. If you have, thank you very much. I'll end the video now. I'll do a more comprehensive video on all the F-14s because I haven't done any demos on them whatsoever, and now that they've been updated, it's worth bringing that to the fore. Well, that's it. I'm going to leave it there. And as I said, it's a great addition. I hope that's piqued your interest. If you've got this far, again, thank you for watching. And as always, take care, and I will see you in the next one.